Collection of deadbeat are not in. We have other football to talk about. Want to welcome TJ Lang, who's joining us for the afternoon because he likes punishment. Also would like to welcome noted race car driver and our phone screener and podcast contributor, David Hatchetman Hull, dressed as Mike Tomlin today. Oh. Only thing missing is a big wooden cross.
Great look. We
actually have audio of David's drive-in today. David, the hell happened? Hold on, TJ. Before we get to you and your boss,
I want to hear this too.
What the hell happened? You're down at the police station. You're late for work. You're dressed like an NFL coach.
See, this is what I get because I walked out of the house today and I told my wife, she said, why are you putting that on? I said, because TJ's going to be in and I want him to know what a real team looks like. So I wore all my Steelers stuff. And boom, the woman runs into me as I'm on my way in.
Well, hey, maybe they can come hit the golf course with us this week. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, no offense, your team's not exactly in either.
No, they're not. But
yeah, your best player's busy singing, wearing a little mask on TV.
Oh, yeah, he was a hippo or whatever he was.
A disaster. Well, what happened with the car accident?
A woman sideswiped me. I'm turning onto the street, and she just runs the no-turn on red and hits me.
So, not your fault.
No.
How's the car?
The car, well, it's never in good shape, but it's in worse shape now. But I think a lady that stopped her because she was going to run, she was going to keep going, but it was a nice, wonderful African-American lady that said, you know what, you're my brother, and I stopped her. So she stopped her. She blocked her.
You know, they talk about black-on-black crime, I tell you.
No, she stood up for me.
Look at you.
That woman stood up for me.
Look at you. The community's coming together, David. It's coming together.
One step at a time, right?
Well, we had a really fun show planned because it was going to be Wild Card Weekend, bring TJ in, bust some balls. Sully was going to do some dip with TJ. It's going to be exciting. And then Bob Quinn decides to drop in from the clouds and talk for the first time in 18 years. So what we're going to have to do is talk about it.
I could come back Monday if you want.
I mean, it's up to you. It's just going to put you in an uncomfortable spot in certain situations because you don't know what your future is. You're not going to be in the business of assassinating your boss on radio.
Correct.
Although if you did, I know we'd love it. But we can get into some of the audio, and hopefully you can get into a few things. Now, look, later on in the show, we got some fun stuff as far as the NBA and the NHL, a little debate. TJ's Mr. Hockey, I'm Mr. Hoops. We do have a fun NFL deal, rapid fire, kind of a blitz segment. We'll do it at 3:30. We have the playoff games to talk about. All those things I want to do. I'm not going to do 4 hours of this. But, TJ, I'll put my take out there from what I got from this. And I know Sully's got audio. And you can chime in with what you want, what you won't. We'll grade your level of dishonesty as you want to be politically correct on certain things. But, I mean, Sully, how do you want to roll here, brother? Do you just want to play a few of the choice cuts, have me introduce them? Do you want me to give my take first and see how long it takes TJ to hit me? I mean, how far do you want to go?
Yeah, we can play a few cuts first. There's no problem with that at all.
All right, so let me do this. Start out with number 3, because I really don't care to hear him say how record is what it is and all that. Number 3, he was asked a question about accountability and his role in it for this team's failures. Go ahead.
My position as the general manager here, I'm accountable. I'm responsible. I put this team together. And I feel like we have a good team. We didn't win as much as we should have this year. And those are things that, Coach and I are going to look back at and evaluate over the next coming months and make sure we have a better team going forward. So I don't take this responsibility lightly. Season was trying because you don't win. This is, the second year in my career that I didn't have more wins than losses. So it was a hard year. It is a hard year for all of us, and we're going to do everything in our power to make it better and make this team more competitive on a week-in and week-out basis.
All right, so my viewpoint on it, and again, TJ, you can plead the fifth if you want. I just think, fine, you want to be accountable for it. It's your third team. Great. If you don't make the playoffs next year, you're fired. That's how that works. You don't get to be an NFL general manager and go year in, year out not making the playoffs, not doing anything. So it's fine. I like the fact he took accountability. Cool. But next year has to be a year you show market improvement. It has to be a year that, look, you're 6-10. You got to flip the record around. You plan on making the playoffs in the NFC. You probably got to get to 10 wins most years. Got 10-6, you missed the playoffs, you keep your job. That's not your fault. You got screwed at that level. But you got to flip this thing around. So you want to be accountable. I think that's the first time you could talk about Bob Quinn being truly accountable. Is that unfair?
No, I'm with you. I like the fact that that he was accountable. Although being a player, I think we tend to take more of the blame. I mean, he's not the one out there playing on Sundays. We are, and that's really the issue I have with the whole thing. I know the GM has a ton of responsibilities when it comes to the football team. Players, though, we got to go out there. We got to perform. I mean, when people get fired and when there's changes and we're not winning many games, I know the GM, the coaches can say what they want about their part in the business, but players, you got to get it done. That's where the ultimate responsibility, for my mind, from my eyes, that's where it lays. But I like the fact that he sounds uncomfortable, which is how it should be. I think anytime you have a season like this, he said it's his second losing season in his whole career. For me, it was my first. I know it's not a good feeling. I know he's going to work hard to get this thing changed around. I think he's definitely got the right mindset when it comes to that.
All right, now the question everybody wanted, which was about Matthew Stafford. And look, I told you all these articles about him getting traded and stuff were ridiculous. This organization doesn't have the balls to do something like it. I think they're afraid of Stafford. Well, here's the deal. He was asked about Matthew Stafford and trading Stafford. Here was his answer.
There's been a lot of talk about Matthew Stafford. Should you trade him? Would you trade him?
Yep.
Why don't you? And all that. And also what he went through from a physical standpoint to get through that season might have been more than anybody let on. What was bothered with his back.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford's our quarterback. He will be our quarterback here. Listen, this guy is a really talented player, and myself, the coaches need to put him in better situations to allow him to use his skill set. Matt's extremely tough. He's extremely diligent in his work ethic. He sets a great example for all of our players and really all of our staff of how to go about his job. In the injury situation, listen, the injury report is what it was all season. He had the back thing, and listen, he went through,
All right, that's enough. I don't need the pity party. He played. If you're hurt, don't play. It's simple. The issue, guys, we got to put it to bed now. I've said to you for weeks, he's not getting traded. It's not happening. Maybe another organization, maybe other people, not here. Just so now officially you can put it to bed. This man would be a nutcase to go out and try to trade this guy now after what he just said. He's not getting traded. So you just got to put it to bed. I told you, after next offseason, it might be a different answer. And that's where my mind is at. But look, it's just clear. The one thing that bothered me with this, and TJ, I know you have thoughts on the offense being that's your side of the ball. It's mixed messages to me. How many times are we going to talk about getting this kid more talent? What are we talking about? Team was 3-4 when you had 3 killer receivers, a healthy running game, a healthy TJ in one piece, and you were 3-4. And then you traded Golden Tate. What do you mean you got to get more talent? Now you got rumors out there Marvin Jones is going to get traded. At a certain point, players got to play. At a certain point, guys got to be better. Stafford did not have a good year. I really don't care what system you're running. I don't care what happens around you. He didn't have a good year for a guy 10 years in making $27 million. So it's just another example of the organization. They are always going to apologize for this guy. It's the best gig in sports. Honestly, I know why Stafford doesn't want to leave. It's the best. TJ, you don't have to win nothing. You make $27 million. You answer to nobody. And look, I'm not asking you to bury your quarterback. I'll do it for you. The point is, it grosses me out that nobody can just go out and say, you know what, dude needs to be better. Got to be on notice. That's the part that pisses me off, and I think it angers fans too. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think you necessarily have to come out and say anything like that. I think it's pretty clear everybody watched the whole season that not only him, I think we could go through a list of 50 guys that probably feel like they could have played better. I know, for the games that I was out there, I feel that way, And I think what I really get from that comment from Quinn was maybe take a little bit of pressure off of him, maybe take a little bit, not ask so much out of him where it's throwing the ball 50, 55 times a game. I don't care what kind of quarterback you are, the most talented guy, $30 million quarterback, you're asked to take on that much load of an offense and really do everything, taking the brunt on your shoulders of the production. I think that can wear anybody down, and I think that's kind of what I got from that. Take a little bit off of him. Maybe continue to grow the run game, build the run game. I think that's a step we took forward this week.
Right, so let me
that's
ask
something to do that, and not ask the guy to throw 55 times a game.
All right, Sully, there's where we start then, because TJ just said something that's interesting, but I completely disagree with it. It's simple. You have one of the 6 highest paid quarterbacks in football. It's going to be 7, 8, 9, and 10 as other guys get their deals done. As time goes on, his deal will look better and better and better. Here's the bottom line. As fans, where are you at with this? Because your GM sounds like he wants to take the pressure off Stafford. I would agree with TJ there. I disagree with the take, but I agree that that's what Quinn wants. We're hearing about ball control. We're hearing about running the ball. We're hearing about insulating him, all of these different things. To me, I don't want to hear none of that because I'm not paying my quarterback these type of primo dollars to take the pressure off him. In fact, I'd keep the pressure on him. But I think what we're hearing here, and this is me saying it, not TJ, they don't trust Stafford to be one of those guys. They know they can't ask him to throw it 40, 50 times a game and win. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, how many quarterbacks are there out there like
Half dozen.
that?
Half dozen.
Okay, well, I'm not a guy that looks at the salary because, like you said, highest paid guy right now in 5 years is going to be the 15th
Absolutely.
highest paid guy. I don't give a crap what the guys are making. That's just the business, especially when you're a quarterback, right? Everybody's going to be the highest paid at some point in their career just based off of when your contract's
But it's what we have to live with. That's the problem.
Right, and I'm not making excuses or anything, but I mean, there's just quarterbacks that look at the top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
None of them made the playoffs.
None of them made the playoffs. I mean, it's not just a one guy thing. First of all, I think quarterbacks take up way too much of the salary cap to begin with. That's
Yours
a totally
included.
different. That's a totally different argument. But when you look at it, don't think about the numbers. Don't think about what you're paying the guy because you have a franchise quarterback. He at some point in his career, he's going to be at least top 3 highest paid guy for at least 1 or 2 years.
All right, so I want to ask 248-539-9797. We got plenty more Quinn audio. If you've already heard it and you have a sizzling take to offer, dial in. But I'm hearing from the organization, they want to take the pressure off Stafford. And for me, and whether it's a flawed mindset or not, I got a major problem with that. Almost a major problem as I have with David's driving.
Driving. It's her driving.
All righty. 97.1.
97.1 The Ticket.
24 seconds bar.